All right, we're doing a month in review for our monthly altcoin low cap tracker. We do this weekly series. Just recently announced the top 7 coins we'll be tracking in April. These are just ones that I pick out. And as I said in this video, the original one, which I will have linked down below in the description, where you can check out all the links to all these projects as well as their sites. In this video, I specifically talk about how, in everything I talk about, how you don't want to be black and white with investing and this series in general. You don't want to think in this binary way. So many people get caught up in this, when they hear a title like this. The problem with YouTube is the titles can only have a certain amount of words and characters. So when you hear, picks for a month, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to buy at the beginning of the month and sell at the end of the month, yes, you can make money doing this. Like, some people do this and make money doing it. But that's really a terrible way of investing. Like I said, that's a black and white way of doing things, and you don't want to think like this. You really want to think in a way where you go, okay, let me pick these, but form my own investment thesis, form my own plan, tailored plan, like I talk about in this video. So if you're following around with this month, you already know this, but I just want to do this introduction for anyone who's just watching the month in recap, kind of explaining that you need to understand this with anybody's YouTube channel, any investment advice you find, on the internet, and if they're talking about monthly things, and they're only talking about in that month, it's probably not a good idea to do. First of all, you should always do your own research on this. This isn't investment advice, and that's why I always have this link down here below in the description, how to do your own research and profit-taking strategy. So not just thinking about it as buying at one point and selling at the other point. In this video, I talk about, for an example, if you're just putting $10 into each of these tokens, so if you're just doing $60, you don't want to just put $10 in at the beginning of the month and sell $10 at the end of the month. That's a horrible way of doing things. Rather, you'd want to make a plan, your own tailored plan based on your own risk management strategy in your own time horizon. I personally believe in all these projects fundamentally. So there's a certain amount that I took out this month, and there's a certain amount that I averaged in on some of these. Some of these I was more bullish on the beginning of the month than I am now. Some of these I'm more bullish now. For example, Pangolin and PokerBridge. I like these much more now, and I averaged out of some of API 3 and put some of those profits into these other projects. So again, averaging in is key, especially in a volatile market. If you believe a project and you've done your own research, this is what you can learn. So beginning of the month, you can see the prices here. We're just going to go through at the end of the month the monthly highs for price and the monthly highs for market cap. So you can see here API 3, $9.84 was the monthly high. $214 million market cap was the monthly high for that. We started the month off with $3.77 and an $81 million market cap. So very nice if you pulled profits there. I pulled profits around $9 with API 3. Now I still have some writing in this project because, again, I believe in it fundamentally, but I talk about that in the how to do your own research and how to form an altcoin exit strategy, talking kind of merging Da Vinci's little old lady strategy into some of my thoughts on this. So this was a gain of 264%. Now these other ones, except Yield App did quite nice. These other ones, didn't really perform in March, and typically March is a red month for crypto. So this is something that we did expect at the beginning of the month. And with anything that I put in crypto, I fully expect. I first of all, with any investment, I don't put anything in more than I'm willing to lose. And with crypto, I keep it in mind that these projects can go to zero. We've seen this happen in the space, but that's all part of doing your own research. So it's always a factor. It's a non-zero chance of this happening. But if you properly do your own research, you can really get into some of these projects that are very, very low cap, which these, at the beginning of the month, at least these were. Some of them reached, I would say, like larger caps, like API 3, for example, or Yield App. But at the beginning of the month, the whole idea was we were going to pick 4 projects under $25 million market caps, which are extremely risky. And I talked about that in this video. And 2 projects that were around $80 to $70 million market cap, which was API 3 and Spartan. So for Sparta, it was $1.11 at the beginning of the month. This is one that I hold very, very long term because I'm very interested in synthetic assets. That's kind of one of my most favorite things in the crypto space, kind of merging this with the traditional finance space and having synthetic assets for things like real estate, things like commodity trading, just synthetic versions that trade 24/7, 365 with no middleman. So you can see $70 million market cap starting out the month. The high was around $90 million for market cap, $1.40, about a 26% gain for Umbrella Network, a great Oracle, UMB. I have a dedicated video on this, $1.70, about 21% gain on the monthly, and then $50 million market cap or monthly high. And you can see that's about a double in market cap. Yield app, 0.62, $20 million market cap to start out the month. And the market cap really exploded with yield app. I talked about this in the first week's price tracking theory or series. Was their market cap exploded because they added more into the circulating supply based on the total supply. That's like fully diluted versus the current market cap. So it's something important to track. And again, as I talk about with this forming your own strategy, and do not copy anyone else's strategy. I'm telling you this. Do not just copy someone else's picks, because this is why it's so important. You have your own, I don't know your own personal situation, some other YouTuber or someone else on TV, if you're following like Jim Cramer's stock picks or whatever, these guys, these newsletter people that are telling you stock picks or investment advice in general, none of them know your own personal situation. So you have to tailor your own strategy and really put time and thought into this and have a long-term perspective. So yes, as you can see in this video, we made very nice gains in a month, and especially in February. I mean, this was absolutely crazy. These gains here, which most of these profits I just rolled into March. So March I had zero risk on the table. I'll be straight up honest with you. These profits from February, I just rolled them into March. Plus I took profit from them. So there was zero risk here. And that was my personal strategy because I knew March was a red month historically for crypto. So that's also part of understanding the macro environment, not just the micro. In the micro, yes, we're in this bull run. For cryptocurrency, yes, we're seeing massive monetary stimulus. But at the same time, you have to understand that these historical trends still prevail. So March is typically a red month for most things, even the stock market. April is typically a green month. That's why we have these picks here. And I'll have April's the video for that linked down below in the description, along with how you can get access to this spreadsheet. So let's get back to the picks. I just have to iterate this, guys, because some people, are so they're so emotional with investing that it just kills me to see. So Pangolin, $6.66 was the monthly high. Monthly high for market cap was 13 million.8, up about 16%. This is one that has really dropped this month. It's really gotten beaten up, but I believe in it fundamentally. You do your own research on this. Same with Poker Bridge. These are extremely low cap, so extremely risky, but at the same time, higher risk, higher reward. So like I said, my only money in these projects are profits from something else. So it's like you have to understand this. If you're risking the money that you're currently making at your job or whatever you're doing, maybe you have an online business, as a lot of people that follow this channel do. If you're risking those your monthly income, that's a different story versus if you're risking only profits from another trade. So just like if you followed along with February's picks and did your own research, formed your own strategy, you had extremely nice gains in all of these. The minimum was, what was the smallest gain? 149%. And February's a great month. March is a red month. So I rolled my profits from there into this month. And that's how I kind of came up with these ideas. These are all extremely low cap. So I still have money riding in actually each of these projects. But I can't necessarily disclose the amount because that's personal information and I could get in trouble for that. But yeah, anyways, let's go. Poker Bridge, PBR, 47 cents, $15 million market cap at the high, 20% gain. And 39 cents is the current price, or was the current price at the beginning of the month. $12 million market cap on February 26th. So that's all for today's video. Definitely check out April's top 7 picks. And like I said, I will be coming out with a dedicated video on this because it just kills me to see. These are things, they don't teach us in school. So I get it. Some people, if they're new to investing, if they haven't read a lot of books on this and their only experience in this is the crypto market, I can see how people kind of fall for these ideologies. But I hope you are kind of an outlier in that case, and you're not falling for this FOMO, FUD, and just overall kind of hysteria in the crypto market currently. Yes, we're in a bull run, but at the same time, like I keep saying, these historical trends prevail. So February is historically a red month. There are other times for example, in the stock market, there's certain times that are red markets. There's certain trends that stack that cause for a typical bear market, and you can see a bear market within a bull market. So these are all things to keep in mind, all frameworks to have. Again, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments. Also, go check out April's top 7 undervalued altcoin picks. Yeah, So if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, button all, invest global, and until next time.